Hello everyone, how are you? So this is another do-it-yourself camera stand, and I showed you how to do one, well, many I've shown you, and I can show you many more. This is one that I haven't used in a while, so I thought I would just explain what I look for a camera stand. You want to have something that will hover, let's call it hovering, above your, right here, above your work area, so you can see how beautiful the pen is, or how I'm fixing a pen, or how I'm doing eye surgery on a cat, or whatever it is I'm doing. You want to have the camera close to what you're doing and from above. You want the lighting coming from an area that doesn't cause shadows that are going to be right in the middle of what you're doing. You want them aiming this way, so there's a little ballet you have to do. So here I will just explain through an illustration what you're looking for. So here's your table. Come on, ink, work. Here's your table. Here's the floor. Here's my fat ass, your skinny ass, my fat ass. Here's my arms. Here's my pen. Here's my head. And somewhere in this vicinity is where we want the camera. If it's over here looking down, then you can't see whether you're in the frame or not. You want to be able to see what what the camera sees by having the camera so your eye can see it. Now you could hook up, okay, do we have ink in this pen? You could maybe hook up a complicated mirror over here and look over that way, but that's even more traumatic. So again, you want the camera sort of in this vicinity so you can easily see with your eyeballs without having to stand up or move around what you're doing. But you want the camera to point down at what you're doing. So let's make a little close-up. This is crappy paper. Let's make a close-up. I'm just going to use this pencil. Can I do that? So here's the surface of the desk. Here's my eyeball. That's me smiling. That's how I smile. My mouth doesn't go up. It just goes level. Here's my arm. Here's my pen. Here's the paper. So essentially, I want the camera to see this much looking down. So the camera, can be located sort of in this vicinity. Now, if you can have it be further forward a bit so you can actually see both what you're writing live and what you're writing on the camera, that's even better. So how do you do that? Well, step one is you could buy a quadcopter thing when they're, to hold your camera exactly in place. And that would work if you wanted to do that. Knock yourself out. No, that would be great. If the camera could hover all by itself, that would be great. But chances are, if you have hair, you'd get your hair caught in the propellers and be pulled in and decapitated or something. So that's difficult. So what I have done, as you've seen many other examples, I've taken, a desk lamp, a gooseneck desk lamp, and I've taken off the lamp and super glued duct taped a selfie stick or something, and I can put the camera here and it works fine. Often what you have to do, because of physics, this camera ends up weighing, with the selfie stick and everything, weighs more than the light bulb and the shade did. So you have to add cinder blocks or bricks or whatever over on this side to make it balance. Well, that's what I did. I was moving things around and I discovered this thing. So I will make it visible, except not very well. So here's a Sunbeam desk lamp that I bought at the dollar store for $1, and it actually works. See? And I bought a selfie stick for $1 at the dollar store. So now I spent $2 on this contraption. This will hold the iPhone, and I'll be able to, easily move this sort of in close or further away, or pull this out all in one sitting. It's quite versatile. The problem is the weak link in this little contraption is this gooseneck is not as strong as I'd like it to be. So I may end up finding another gooseneck and sort of lashing it on here. You could find certainly a better lamp and do it that way. But this one, this little thing here is almost weightless. So it didn't need a robust gooseneck. It did, however, need all sorts of weights. So this is a big, heavy weight of from some machine somewhere, and a couple of nuts and bolts that I tied with a string onto the back of this thing, so that I'm able to operate this. So here again is what it looks like. So there's extra weight keeping this thing secure, and the light is here. Sometimes what I do is I'll make an arc with the light and have the light be down here, and then I can extend this thing out further. So that's kind of neat. So for $2 of your ready money, you can create something that's probably better than anything you can buy. I mean, any normal thing you can buy if you go on Google, Amazon, or whatever, and try to buy a camera mount or an iPad mount. You're going to get one that has a problem. And I'll just explain where the problems will lay. They sometimes show a clamp, and then they show in the picture, they have the gooseneck coming up here like this, and they show your thing here, so you can watch your program while you're lying in bed or sitting on the couch or whatever. You attach this to your coffee table, and then you can knit with your two hands or do whatever you do with your two hands while you're watching something on the screen. Well, that's fine if you're a normal person. But if you're like me and you have tables that are slanted, or tables that are maybe thicker than a coffee table is made today, then you're going to have a problem. Also, if you have your clampy thing that you buy online attached to a table, and you want your iPad over here, way over here, above your workspace, and you want the base, the clampy thing and this thing to be out of your way, like I'm trying to do here. It would be easy if the clamp was right, 1 inch that way. But then my arm would get in the way, and the drawing would get in the way, and I want this thing. I don't want anything underneath here. So, but if I did that with this contraption, chances are the weight of the iPad would counteract the weight of the thing it's anchored to, and everything would come topsy-turvy, falling over. so you bring a cinder block in and put that on the other end of your coffee table to hold it down. So there's usually something you have to do to make it work. This particular device I'm using here from my iPad was, the little brackety thing that held the iPad in place is made of plastic, and it's a piece of crap, and that had to be eventually taped and screwed together. So because the plastic parts come undone, and then that doesn't hold it, so you have to lash that down. The gooseneck, in this case, the best part of this product I'm using right here was the gooseneck. It was very sturdy, but in addition to this thing being sort of crappy, the little clampy thing was awful. I clamped it down, and it's essentially a C-clamp that this thing was attached to, and eventually, the screw, because of the way it's torqued, this thing got off center. So a side view of this would be, here's the screw, here's the thing, here's the top, and this would miss that. It just would be torqued and bent. And I tried to fix it, and it got bent worse, and then it broke. So what I did was I attached with hose clamps this thing to an actual real true-to-life C-clamp. The ones that mechanics use. Big, butch, beefy C-clamps. So here it's hose clamped to the C-clamp. The hose clamp's connected to the C-clamp. The C-clamp's connected to the gooseneck. And that worked. But there's usually something wrong. At least one thing that's wrong with the ones that you buy for $25 or less. It's not robust enough. So I waited to make one of these things for $2. $2. I presume you have nuts and bolts around your house that you can, tie with a string that you must have around the house. If you don't have nuts and bolts, go find some. In the dark of night, sneak through the perimeter of the Air Force base and go over to the F stealth thing with your screwdriver, your bolt, or wrench. They don't need. They got thousands of bolts holding these things together. They don't need that many. Just take 4 or 5, take them back, go through the thing, ignore the bloodthirsty dogs and the bloodthirstier soldiers and their machine guns. Just, take, life's short, risk it. Life's short, make it even shorter. So then go back, go to the dollar store, buy your Sunbeam lamp and your Brand X selfie stick. These things last about a minute and a half, so get about 7. There's usually something here that breaks. But again, it's fine. Anyway, what you're going to get at the end of the day, when you're done with all of your shenanigans and your hose clamping and your tying and duct taping and everything, you're going to get a device, a contraption. Here's your table. I'm going to draw you again. This is you. Here's your V-shaped torso, your calipigian butt, your little feet, your arms, your other arm, dot, 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 dot. Here's your pen. Okay. I'm not trying to imply that you are on cam naked. That's a different channel. This is just showing the, well, we'll just fix it. We'll put nice. You're wearing some pedal pushers. You're wearing some of Mom's pedal pushers from 1962. And you're wearing Dad's wife beater t-shirt. How did they ever come up with that name? I know. Let's sell some t-shirts. Let's call them wife beaters. That'll appeal to 90% of men or the Republican Party. So here you are. Here's your drawing or your calligraphy or your dissecting tray with the rabbit on it, and you're showing people how to do an appendectomy on the rabbit. And then here's your contraption that I just designed. Here's your base. Here's your gooseneck. Here's your camera. So your eye can see we'll just call it the drawing. And it can see the drawing up here at the same time. Now, what you also want is a light source. Now, the light that comes with the actual contraption I have could work, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really tried it. It might be too bright though, as too bright a source for the camera. There might be glaring. So, but you want to have the light coming from back here somewhere. So here's your table lamp aiming this way down this way so that it illuminates the drawing. The shadows that are cast from this are not, they're going this way, you see, and they're going this way. So that there's nothing, there's no shadows. See where the shadow is? The shadow's off to the side. Yes, my hand is making a big shadow. But if the light were above me, then there'd be a big shadow of the iPhone and everything would get in your way. So you want the lighting from the top or from the side that your hand is not. You don't want this lighting from that way because then this would all be shadow. You can have it this way. You want to see the hand and the pen or the pencil or the scalpel as you use the tool. So you don't want that out of the way. You don't want that obscured by a shadow, and you don't want it to be. You want it to be on camera. So that's how this works. What are your thoughts? Write your answer below. To get blueprints for this, you send $1 million to me, and I'll send you this drawing with all the other accompanying blueprints. Or you can just be YouTube certified. I'm doing things with diplomas right now. YouTube. It's some curly cues, little handlebar mustachy things. YouTube University. Should I spell university? Y-O-University. That's a university. Should it be in Latin? Universitatum, or us, or whatever. By all men present blah, blah, blah. Your name here. Your name here is able to, because of minutes spent searching things on YouTube, he or she, they are certified to perform the most delicate blank, and I'd fill in the blank. Brain surgery, fountain pen repair, calligraphic la-di-da. I don't know what you would learn. What do you learn? Watercolor techniques, uh, spare tire putter on it, honor. What other things? Oh, another thing you can learn is on YouTube or on the interweb is how to be a expert in pathogens and what's the word? What are we dealing with? Pandemics. You can be a pandemic expert. So here's the seal, gold, little things and a ribbon, and then it's signed by me. Here, you are YouTube certified. Ta-da! Let me know how it works. Bye.